Mr. Doo Brown.
Him.
Welcome back
Why go
to
on
your
by there?
second one-on-one with Comedy Hype, now known as Hype Plus, and your third time being on the platform altogether. How have you been?
I've been blessed by the best.
Yeah.
I'm too anointed to be disappointed. Can you dig it?
Okay. We saw you brought out the Versace robe
Again.
last time you had a purple one on.
Yeah, the third time.
Yeah. Man, so it's been 3 years since we last talked.
And it don't seem like it.
It doesn't. I
don't
felt
seem
like I told you earlier, it felt like it was been about 2 years.
About a year.
But 3 years, okay, for
Yeah,
a year
it's been
for you.
a minute. So we overdue.
We got a lot to catch up on.
Let's get it.
Man, so first and foremost, what have you been kind of up to just in terms of your career since we last talked? And then I want to get into what's currently been happening.
Okay.
What's been going on with you?
So my last interview was before COVID.
Right.
We discussed that. So COVID shook me. I was shook. I did not know it was gonna get that serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did not know that they was gonna force people to believe. You know what I'm saying? Because I do a Tuesday night in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
And I remember getting a call from the owner saying, Doodle, we're gonna have to, shut down for a couple of weeks, this whole COVID thing. And I'm like, oh man, it's nothing. It's not, you know what I'm saying? No, you don't have to do that. They were like, no, bro, you don't understand. These folks is coming by saying, if we catch you open, it's a $5,000 fine. The second time we catch you open, $10,000.
Okay.
If we keep coming by you open, we're snatching your license. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like forcing folks' hand. They didn't care if you believed or not, or if you were, you thought your immune system was up to par.
Right.
They didn't care.
Right.
Like, no, you're gonna move this way because we said so. Not about what you believe. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you mentioned something, the whole belief thing. So I'm guessing that you didn't think COVID was a real thing, or
I'm not rocking with the whole narrative.
Okay. Why?
Because I don't have to.
Okay.
You dig it? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people
I like to think for myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If you tell me in the city of Atlanta, if you jump on the news and you tell me 50,000 people died from the onset till now, there have been 50,000 COVID deaths in the city of Atlanta alone. And traffic is still bagged the up for 2 hours at 5 o'clock like ain't nothing changed. Do you know how many 50,000 people is? Huh? You ever tried to go to a Braves game when all the motherfuckers trying to get to the stadium? It's jam packed. Now you telling me that amount of motherfuckers is out of here. They're dead.
Okay.
And traffic is still back the up.
Now someone might challenge you.
It ain't even, I can't get 15 minutes. I can't get, it's still 2 hours around the perimeter at 4:30.
Okay. Some people might challenge you. Some of those people probably would help.
Yeah, folks are going to challenge.
Older people.
There's always a rebuttal.
Yeah, older people that probably was.
Older people.
That wasn't driving, maybe.
Yeah, that wasn't driving, yeah. That believe everything the TV and their doctor tell them. God bless them.
Okay.
I have the right to question shit, okay? I can ask a question, can I? I can say, no, I don't think so, can I?
That's true.
Without being the villain. I can say, no, that don't make sense, right? Without being, all this shit, Dear Hughley and Pierre be calling people names and shit.
Because they didn't take the vaccine.
All of it, the whole thing, we were pitted against each other, but that's a whole nother segment.
Do you have a reason beyond just simply just not going for it that you think maybe COVID wasn't as real as maybe they made it, or as serious? Do you think you have your own conspiracy when it comes to that?
See, and I hate that word. I hate that word, conspiracy, because people have taken it upon themselves to make the whole word a joke. All you got to do is say conspiracy, and that just throws everything out the window. Oh, this is a conspiracy.
Right.
That, they've taken that word and just thrown it out the window when you bring it up. Okay, but let's break that down. Yes or no? Has this government ever conspired?
Right.
Yeah, on us
Against
all
the
the
government.
time.
Right.
So don't just throw it out because somebody says conspiracy. This government conspires. The root word of conspiracy is conspire.
Right.
Right. So if I have a theory of you conspiring, you can't just throw it out the window because the facts come with the facts. Folk around here conspire to do shit all the time. If I have a theory that you're conspiring, you can't just throw my theory out. Call it a conspiracy theory, or he's a nut job. No. Let's break this shit down. And don't hate me because I want to think for myself, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to just take. I appreciate you telling me whatever, but allow me to mill it around in my head and see how I feel about it.
No.
So we was talking about what I had been doing. So I was saying that the COVID, it had me shook because I didn't know that they were going to force people to rock with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was inside. We was inside. So
I was going to ask you about that whole transition. Now, some of your comedic peers, they started doing stuff on Zoom and online.
Oh.
Did you ever conform to that, or how did you feel about when you saw comedy
hated it.
going digital?
I hated it. I did. I hated it. I hate to hear somebody saying, "Oh, this is the new thing. This is how it's gonna go." No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not. We're not finna do everything through this goddamn computer. Not everything. Yeah, we do a lot through it now, but this ain't just this is where the buck stops.
Did you fear that your career would get hurt
I told
by
you
that?
I was shook, bruh.
Yeah.
They told me we're not doing that anymore. You coming out talking to the people? No, we don't do that no more. Unless you're in a bubble, unless we control it, unless everybody do what we say, get tested, get this, get that. We'll let you in the bubble, then you can speak. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were saying. They were saying, no, bro, we controlling the whole thing. Ain't nobody getting together. There will be no congregating to hear the funny man or whomever, unless we okay you.
Right.
So I was shook, bruh. And then, I had a conversation with the Lord. He asked me a question. He said, if I allow you, this is during quarantine. If I allow you back on that stage, what will you tell the people? I said, Lord, I'll tell them whatever you want me to tell them. I'll be a vessel to be used by you however you choose, however you see fit.
Okay.
And he said, I'm going to see. I'm going to see. And the first comedy club to open in these United States, as far as I understand, was Uptown Comedy Corner. They opened well before the CDC said it was okay.
Okay.
And I was their first comic back on stage. Right?
Okay.
And I did my bit. I was the first guy talking about masks and how stupid I thought they were and all that. And after that, a comedy house in South Carolina called. They were opening back up. And I was their first comic. And I kept it going and the phone haven't stopped ringing.
No.
You dig?
So, you mentioned D.L. Hughley.
Yeah.
Another veteran.
Shout out to DL. I love DL.
He was pushing, people to get
Real
the COVID
hard.
shots.
Real hard.
And then he had his incident. How did you feel when he fell out on stage? A part of the return, I believe, when comedians were coming back out.
Yeah. I said they going hard. Oh. They knocking niggas out of chairs and everything. It's hard. Yeah. Look, DL fell out of a chair. And when he woke up, They told him he had COVID. Okay? That's what happened. You fell out, and when you woke up and said, what happened? They said, you have COVID. Oh, I do? So now you going hard for COVID because you fell out, and when you woke up, that's what they told you. That's the excuse they gave you for why you fell on the motherfucking floor. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I understand that. Everybody can choose to believe whatever the fuck they want to believe. It's all good. Do you? You know? But to start calling people names and shit because they don't want to go as hard on it as you want to go, I ain't, rocking with that.
Right.
You know? I ain't rocking with that.
Now, speaking of DL, I believe that last year, him and Monique would have this falling out. And I'm guessing you worked with both of them before?
Yes, I
Done
have.
shows with them?
Yes, I have.
Your reaction to that, because I don't feel like I've ever seen that happen between people of their stature just going back and forth. It was about like a week of pettiness and shots. And
You called it right. Petty. One not wanting to back down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
One not wanting to back down.
The backstory allegedly was they both were on the same show. We
Who
need to
gonna
find out
headline?
who gonna headline.
Yeah.
It would turn out that I believe DL will go on headline, Monique will get on first, and that's where she proceeded to bag on DL and expose this rift between them.
Mm-hmm.
One, how do you settle stuff like that being a person in your position, a veteran? I'm sure you're going to be on shows with other guys that's on your level.
Oh,
maybe
man.
even
Let me tell you.
bigger names. But how do you feel like that?
Do your fucking job. Is the check gonna change if you go out first? Huh? You be surprised at the lengths comedians go through to be first and or last. Folks won't show up on time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
I think that's what they were saying with
to
the DL
force,
thing.
to force you to go ahead and perform because we got 1,000 people out here waiting for a show, and so and so still they stuck on the highway. So we're gonna need you to go ahead and get the show started because we got all these people waiting. And then, by default, that person gets to go last. That type of shit happens.
Okay.
My thing is, do your job. Is it really that fucking important that you go last?
I wonder if Monique that was her attempt of standing up for herself, being a woman in comedy. I'm sure that's what it also
if she
feels
felt like she had been wronged, she got the right to voice her opinion.
Right.
Everybody got the right to say if they feel like they've been wronged. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, just do your fucking job. If somebody trying to be a diva and want to go last, let them go last. Go out there, give them hell, count your money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? That audience, when they walking back to their cars and shit, guess what they be saying? Oh, Monique should have went last. She killed that shit. She was way funnier than bruh.
Right.
That's what the audience be saying. So it don't matter where you go. Because if they felt like you should have been headlining, that's the mindset they leaving with. Trust. Oh, Buddy was funnier than bruh. They should have let him go last. I would have loved to see more of him.
So if you was DL or Monique in that position, and let's say you were supposed to headline, and then someone comes along, on your stature, and they're like, nah, we want them to headline, or they want to headline. How does Doodoo Brown respond to that?
52-year-old Doodoo Brown says, who wants him to go last?
You asking the promoters that?
No, this is what I'm asking myself.
Okay.
Who wants Buddy to go last? Oh, the guy that's paying everybody. Okay, the guy that's paying everybody get to have what the fuck he want. My mama said you gotta pay the cost to be the boss. If he's paying everybody, he can switch the lineup however he see fit.
Right.
If in your contract it says I headline or I walk, then that's the risk he runs. But if that's not in your contract that you headline or else, let the man have the lineup however he want. Sometimes a motherfucker will call an audible. Y'all play PlayStation. Motherfucker call an audible, change the play at the last second.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes audibles are called in life and shit have to be switched up. Don't make a big deal out of it, but if you feel like you've been wrong, then say you feel like you've been wrong.
Were you disappointed to see those people? Because, DL's a king of comedy. Monique is a queen of comedy.
Yeah, I'm disappointed to see us act like that with each other. Yeah.
Now, kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
Speaking of king of comedy, Steve Harvey. 4 years ago when you did our platform, you talked about Steve Harvey, and that was a conversation. And Steve, he lost his shows and he got canceled, and as far as his previous shows. But now he's kind of in the headlines for other reasons, and that is with his stepdaughter, Lori Harvey, is making a lot of noise. Are you familiar with her dating patterns? And
yeah, slanging pussy out of both panty legs. That's what my mama used to say. Slanging pussy out of both panty legs.
See, so that's the debate right now, right?
What?
Is she wrong?
She grown. She grown. Okay, my children, I got a bunch of daughters.
Okay.
I got 10 daughters. As old as 34, as young as 20. Do I like the fact that they got multiple sex partners? That more than one nigga done had that pussy? No, I don't like it as a daddy. But it is what it is, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right. She gonna fuck. You ought to be happy. She getting dick and not dildo. You know what I'm saying? She ain't pulling up with some broad dressed like a nigga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You ought to be happy that she getting some real dick. You know what I'm saying? Ain't did what Boosie's daughter just pulled on him. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna touch on that.
Yeah, you ought to be happy. But yeah, she got to decide how many hoes you ran through before you found that one.
Okay.
It ain't no different.
Okay.
Look, man, she gon' fuck. She gon' fuck. They gon' fuck. They gon' set that pussy out. They gon' be some cut. All that shit. You hope you raised her right enough to not do it her whole life.
So as a father of a lot of girls,
yes,
what are you telling them when they have that conversation?
Don't be a whore. Don't be out here being easy. Mm-hmm. Don't be no thought. These niggas is not gonna respect you fucking everybody. Mm-hmm. Keep some of that pussy between your legs, baby. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they grown. All you can do is raise them. Once you let them go, you hope the things that you taught them stick with them, and you hope that your relationship is such that they will come back and confide in you and ask for advice. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But when the rubber meet the road, nigga, she can do what the fuck she want to do.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Now, she was 14, you can step in and stop some shit. Send some motherfuckers to jail and everything. But she's, how old is she? 22? How old is she?
26, I believe.
26? She damn near 30, and folks is worried about who she fucking? Come on, man.
That seems to be like a big debate because, with her being someone that is like visible, you can visibly see these people that she's dating.
Exactly. You can count them up. He done had the pussy, he done had the pussy, he done had the pussy.
And we assuming it too, though.
Assuming what?
We are assuming if she's sleeping with these dudes, because some of them might just do it for a look. It could be a good look to stand next to her.
Now don't think that ain't going on.
That's what I'm saying. Some of them.
This business will put you with motherfuckers just for the talk.
Correct.
That's true.
So
that don't mean she have to be fucking everybody she's seen with.
Exactly.
That's true. That's very true.
I think that's where a lot of, I've heard a lot of women feel some type of way about it because they date and they don't want to be considered like a hoe because they've been, seeking the right person, giving guys a try. Mm-hmm. And I think it is a double standard.
It is. It's a double standard, and guess what? We didn't come up with it. We just live by it because it is what it is.
Because I've noticed that, when you're younger, what's the conversation you have with your friends, your homeboys? How many hoes you got?
Of course.
And
that's what I tell my daughters. We sit around and talk about y'all, right? If you let that nigga stick his finger in your pussy, he's gonna let his homie smell his finger. So you can be in love if you motherfucking want to. All these niggas, he know what your pussy smell like, and all his motherfucking boys know what your pussy smell like. Take that to to your little makeout.
So
take that knowledge when y'all go to hugging and grinding and shit. Keep that on your mind. When I let this nigga finger fuck me, his homies gonna know.
Now, I do think there's some men that know how to keep their mouth closed and be solid and do what they do.
Men.
Correct.
Men.
So this is what you tell your young girls.
Yeah.
Now, for the women that's watching this, what would you tell them when it comes to their dating habits and how they can maybe find the right gentleman and be wifed up? A lot of them want to be wives.
Baby, move slower than the world is telling you to move. Calm down. Move slower. Set a pace that's comfortable for you and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you need to get on your knees and ask God to make you the woman he would have you to be. Quit trying to be the woman you see on your phone, the woman you see on a magazine. All that shit is fake. Okay? Get on your knees, ask God to make you the woman he would have you to be. That's the only way you're gonna really be happy. That go for men too. You know what I'm saying? People chasing dreams and shit. Sad for you to find out that that's not what God had in store for you.
Now,
you can waste a lot of time. Bullshit.
In this conversation, we have touched on Little Boosie.
Mm-hmm.
In briefing, Little Boosie has been criticizing Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union about Zaya Wade.
Right.
Zaya Wade used to be a young boy.
Yeah.
And for some, consider him or her still a young boy.
Yes.
Because
he still got his dangling. Did they cut him up?
I do not believe they did.
Good.
But there's a conversation that I think people are being protective of because even the mother has also chimed in. I don't think she's fully supporting Zaya just making any decisions by her or himself.
What is it, 12, 13?
14, 15, I believe now.
Yeah.
So I asked you with Little Boosie, do you think it was fair for Boosie's perspective and then even your reaction to Boosie or probably knowing that his own daughter is, now considered a lesbian and out of lesbian?
Hey, Boosie badass. I respect his view as a father. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. These is just one of them things. It happens, man. Mm-hmm. It happens. With the way the youth is bombarded with certain shit, I ain't surprised. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised. Somebody might have even pulled that child to the side and say, hey, we'll give you XYZ if you take a picture and go on your Instagram and call her your bae.
And you're talking about Boosie's daughter.
Yeah.
She just recently posted a photo with a young lady.
That's all it is a photo. Mm-hmm. We don't know if she a carpet muncher, full-fledged carpet muncher. Mm-hmm. It's just a photo and her saying, this my bae, this my boo.
Some girl and straight girls do that with each other.
Exactly.
My wife. And
exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying somebody could have pulled her to the side and say, hey, we'll cash up you $5,000 right now to go on there and say, this your bae. Yeah, they sure the fuck will because of his stand on the topic. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of the game, man. You in HD, nigga, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot to say. People are asking you your opinion on shit. I like his stand on the little boy. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I do you one better. Okay. Friend of mine, Marcus. He's a transgender. Okay. Marcus. I call him Marcus because I love him. Marcus is a transgender, got titties and ass. Y'all call him Flame. Mm. Comedian Flame. Mm-hmm. He got on the thing and said, don't do that to that baby.
Right.
He not gonna feel the same when he 18, 19. That's too young to be making them type of decisions. Hey, so don't listen to doo-doo. Listen to one of your own community. It's too young to be making them goddamn type of decisions about your dick. You don't even know about your dick yet. You ain't found your dick yet. You wanna already cut it off? Cause motherfuckers telling you can make your own decisions. That's so goddamn stupid.
Let me ask you this. You did mention, can kids now are getting bombarded with so much. Has your parenting style changed over the years where you have to maybe be a little bit more aggressive about like blocking your kids? Like Boosie seems to be very protective of like, if those are his children, he would not let the child make those type of decisions. Have you noticed your parenting style being different now?
No, keep it straight. I ain't had to change up. I ain't had to change up. I remember very vividly my son, John. He's got a shitload of sisters.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He was a very little boy. And we were somewhere, we were out. We told him, y'all get together and take a picture. Get together and take a picture. And all the girls was like, you know, and I saw him look at his sister and do the same pose. And I caught eye contact with his ass. The fuck is you got your hand on your hip for? I didn't say it. I just looked at it. And he straightened the fuck up. I didn't have to say nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're a boy, they're girls. You don't do what they do. I understand the influence because you're a child, but that's why we raised them up in the way that they should go. You see what I'm saying? That's why I like Boosie's stance. You know, but hey, once you turn them loose, nigga, they able to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
If you didn't maybe check your son in that moment, do you think it just would have
Of
continued?
course he could have. You know, I used to cuss him out. They used to like to do his hair and paint his nails and shit. I used to have to cuss him out, be painting his motherfucking nails. He is not y'all dog, baby. You know, all his sisters are older than him. He's not y'all dog, baby. You know, if I don't cut it right there, the next thing you know, I come home, they'll have him in a goddamn dress. If I don't say nothing, if I don't set a standard,
Right.
you know?
Now you made me think about in terms of being a parent. Master P and Romeo had fallen out on social media.
Let me tell you something. Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? You're out your fucking mind. You better check the tape, nigga. It's all in HD how your daddy done set you up. Your whole motherfucking life, nigga. Remember Richie Rich? You was the only nigga out there fucking with Lil Bow Wow. Bow Wow was everywhere. You was the only nigga on Bow Wow coattails doing all that same shit. It's all documented. You been balling, your daddy been setting you up from yay high. Stop it, nigga. You owe your father an apology. I don't know who put you up to that shit, but you're wrong. Master P can go back and pull any tape from any year and show him taking care of your ass, making sure you straight. So you're wrong for that shit. I ain't in the household. I don't know if he knocking the shit out you. I don't know. But what I have seen, you've been smiling and cheesing, nigga. Richie Rich. Every time I seen you, you've been living your best life. So, hey.
Yeah, it seemed to be that the conversation was Romeo got upset when DJ Twitch passed away at the Ellen Show, and Master P was sending his condolences about mental health. Romeo then would jump in and say, hey, you're not even really checking in on your own. I believe he was referring to himself. And
so he got mental health.
That was kind of...
How about you do this? How about you call your daddy and say, Dad, I need to be checked on. I would like a shout out. How about you call your daddy? You call him for every damn thing else. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell mine. You call me for any motherfucking thing else. If you got a problem with me, pick up the phone and call. Just like you call and ask for other shit, call me and say, Dad, I feel a certain type of way about something you did or something you say.
And this, to give more detail, it was Romeo looked to have been speaking about his sister who passed away. Because I want to say that did she commit suicide? I believe she committed suicide. And that made them kind of be like, man, you're not even checking on your own seed. And so...
Like I say, man, I don't know who put him up to that shit. Master P been 100 with Romeo if he ain't been 100 with no motherfucking body. The boy had a Rolls Royce with his name stitched in the headrest before he could look over the goddamn steering wheel.
So I believe what he was referring to is that his sister passed away from an overdose. And that will go on to cause him to feel some type of way about his dad checking on this person, or I guess mourning this person.
Right.
And not checking in on his own seed.
Listen, again, Romeo, you should have called your daddy. If you felt some type of way about any motherfucking thing, you should have called your father. If I don't care how strongly you felt about it, but they say don't air your dirty laundry in the public. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure everything I've seen, the man had put 1,000% behind making sure his children, his family is straight.
So Romeo, you feel he was maybe entitled? Do you think Romeo feels entitled?
I think Romeo was wrong for talking shit about his father.
And this is what he wrote, just so you can have it perspective. Today was a boiling point. I seen a man avoid his own children struggle with suicide and depression, but post another man who passed away that he doesn't even know. Y'all idols be lost. Better stop following the blind. Watch when it's revealed. Was the post that he put out on his IG story. What if this was your son? What's your reaction?
Oh, let me tell you, me and my son just recently got into it.
Okay.
He said some shit that would have got him knocked the fuck out had I seen him. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. Fathers, mothers, it's coming. The disrespect, the you got me fucked up, is coming. But guess what? My son just turned 20, January 9th. I hadn't seen him in about a month since he popped that slick shit. And we met up and we kicked it like nothing ever fucking happened. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand. He young. He gonna fuck up.
But you like it was more of a direct thing. At least did he take it to social media?
No.
So you can appreciate maybe that part. I mean, because that's what seems to have been the issue, right? You can have your differences, but he aired out his own father for people that are strangers.
Look, it happened the way it happened with P them because that's the level they at.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't at that level. I'm not at a Master P level. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You don't see me raising my child on TV since yay high. You only know what I tell you. You know what I'm saying? You can go on his birthday, check my Facebook and see some photos, but it ain't documented.
Got you.
Over the years, so everything I'm doing with my children.
You're not tripping about it being public because that's the society and that's the game that they're in.
No, I am. Yeah, I'm telling Romeo he wrong for bringing that to the public like that. I think he should have, if he feel any kind of way about his father, he should call his father.
Okay.
As a man.
Right.
He's a man now. He should, as a man, pick up the phone and call his daddy and as a man say, Dad, I didn't like the way you handled that. You don't even know buddy. Meanwhile, my sister died, blah, 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 and give his daddy a chance to say, son, XYZ, let's meet up and talk about it. Let's look each other in the eye and air our differences. Let me instill some wisdom on you. Let me listen to what you got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
not jump on Twitter talking about what the fuck you think I did and didn't do it. Don't nobody give a fuck. You telling a bunch of people that really don't give a fuck. You know, your followers. They don't give a fuck, nigga. Don't want to watch you crash and burn like every other motherfucker.
So speaking of fatherhood,
and y'all please forgive me for all the lint and shit that's flying off this Versace robe. I just got it out the cleaners, and that's just I guess, what's happening with it.
Now, now you had mentioned that you have a total of 11 kids?
13.
13.
Including my, I don't like to call them my stepchildren, but including my stepchildren.
Gotcha.
Yeah. My biological, I got 7.
7, okay.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon has 12. he gets a lot of backlash because it's like, what's happening? What's the mentality? What's the game behind him having children with these different women?
Yeah.
And he's obviously, I think he's more so reflecting that he's probably
Who got a problem with it?
I think just everyday people. People feel like that it was reckless behavior. Because how can you be there? You know, how can you be there for these children when they need a father?
How can you be there?
Yeah, with all
with
those
$1
kids.
million in the bank. That's how the fuck I can be there. That's how I can be there. Yeah. I can pick it. Let me show you something. I'm going to send you a photograph. See these children? These are not all my children, but a majority of them, and grandchildren. Those are all daughters, grandchildren, and my one begotten son. And that is a total of 4 different baby mamas.
Okay.
You see how we're all together?
Okay.
You see that? That's how the fuck you do it. You come together. It ain't hard. You make your mind up to do every motherfucking thing else. Make your mind up to get with all your fucking children. And if you got that type of money, you can do it.
So my question would be, what advice would you give Nick Cannon, given that he said he feels that he spread himself too thin?
He feel like, well, I can't help the way how he feel. He feel he spread himself too thin. Hey, thicken up, nigga. Shit.
Well, I'm saying, would it be...
Stop slanging dick out of both boxer drawers.
Do you think...
Shit,
he has,
too
you know,
thin. Okay.
He would lose, you know, one of his child, so he has a total of 11 that he has to now manage in different women that he's with. I mean, how would you go about that? Because, you know, I see, I don't know, Puffy has quite a number of children as well.
Right.
But I believe...
Rich niggas always do.
But he had the children staying.
You know how many women it is to one man here in Atlanta? It's about 20, ain't it? About 20 to 1, right? Okay. The man with the gold is king. King Solomon had 300 wives and 400 concubines.
Okay.
You dig? The nigga with the cheddar gonna have plenty pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's just how that go. There ain't nothing new under the sun. Niggas with bread gonna have multiple bitches. Plenty pussy. You know? And if let me tell you something else. If a woman really fucking with you, she wanna give you some offspring. Mm-hmm. That's how she's wired. Mm-hmm. That's how God made the woman. Mm-hmm. If she feeling you, she wanna have she wanna give you a child. You know what I'm saying? You know how easy it is to go get an abortion? Woman don't have to have your baby, nigga. If she don't fucking want to. You know, children are a heritage of the Lord. Fruit of the womb is his reward. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. That's Psalms. So look it up.
So just to be clear, make sure we put clear stance on it. You think that because of Nick's wealth, it kind of validates his ability to have...
Validates?
Or it excuses?
Excuses what?
What if, so there was a brother, right, that is went viral. He fathered 30 kids with 11 different women.
Yeah, I think that's him.
And he expressed that he needs a break from child support.
No, you don't, nigga. No, you don't. You don't need no break. They ain't give me no break, nigga. You don't need no break. Take care of your children. Take care of your children. Take care of your children. You dig? You don't need no break.
His name is Desmond.
When you was breaking that dick off in the hole, you wasn't asking for no break then. Nah, you don't need no break now.
Now this gentleman is only 33 years old. He's in Knoxville, Tennessee. He has reportedly set a Knox County record for the number of children he has managed to reproduce with individual women, including one who worked for Victoria's Secret. However, Hatchett is claiming to be a victim of his own success with the ladies, as he has become unable to make child support payments and was back in court again this month asking for help. Only bringing in a minimum wage salary, Hatchet legally has half of his paycheck taken from him by the state every month, which is divided among his 30 children.
Then that ain't fair.
In theory, Hatchet's obligations to his children would have him paying anywhere from $25 to $309 to the mothers of his enormous his entire offspring. In reality, after half of his pay is deducted, the dad is only able to provide the mothers of his children the partly sum of $1.49 a month.
Hey man, should have thought about all that shit when you was busting big nuts. I think about it. You know what I'm saying? If I had it all to do over again, you know what I'm saying? Would I have pulled out? Would I have, on some of them, yeah. But hey.
Is it just more so the strain of just the financial strain? Is it the time strain?
Hey, there's gonna be some strain. 11 women done sat up and had your children.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some strain. It ain't all about just busting a nut, nigga. Being able to say, oh yeah, I fucked her, Okay, if she have a baby, nigga, guess what? Yeah, you got to come on in, nigga. Get a better job, nigga. Let me tell you something about the court system. The ratio of payment have already been set. I think it's like 24%, 27% of your income will go toward your children. You know what I'm saying? It's fair. Actually, it's not enough. Because that's a lot of children. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of children. What you need to be doing, nigga, you need about 3 of them. Y'all need to see eye to eye, come together, get a big ass crib. Everybody come together and do the shit together. The problem is you're trying to be by yourself. That's where you're fucking up at. Trying to be by yourself. You got a football and a basketball team and a hockey team it got to be some come together.
Now let me ask you this, right? As a man that understands how much the government can be intertwined in your business, because you mentioned COVID, the government was telling people you need to stay in, you need to shut down your business.
Yeah.
Do you think in initiatives when people are having that amount of children, the government should be able to step in and say, hey, you need to, like, trying to have like a one-child policy?
That you talking about some China shit. They do that shit in China.
Yeah, so do you think that's something the government needs to do? Because what if
fuck no.
What if we just having 30 apiece?
Fuck no. Who?
What if we having 30 apiece?
What if, nigga? Guess what? You know how many money? Hey, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I wish y'all could see these fellas laughing their ass off behind this goddamn camera. I wish I had a camera. Hey, man. Look, there are women that cry themselves to sleep at night because they cannot bear children.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So guess what? You can't determine whether or not you're going to have a child. I just quoted the scripture. Children are a heritage of the Lord. Fruit of the womb is his reward. God reward you with children. Just because you want to have a baby don't mean you're going to have a baby. Ask any number of white women keep running to the fertility clinic, wondering why they can't conceive.
Right.
They got the husband on pills, they got the wife on pills, and they just cannot conceive. There are hundreds of couples going through this shit. So if you're able to kick out 30 children, hey, God bless you. But guess what? To whom much is given, much is required. That's law. That's spiritual law. So if you get a lot, you're going to have to give a lot. It just is what it is. Nigga,
so you
cry.
Think for back to Nick Cannon though, you just think he could continue to do what he's been doing? Which is he can have more children, you wouldn't even.
If he want to.
Okay.
The broad got to lay up and catch it. She got to let him fuck raw.
Right, and people said that the women are also responsible to this.
You don't think they are? What they say, take two to tango. They know who they fucking. Don't they? They know that's Nick Cannon, wilding out. Right?
Yeah.
$1 million shoe, nigga. Nigga bought him.
Now, you don't think this won't affect the children growing up when Because my perspective is that, and you can, I think, be able to relate to this perspective where you're not going to be able to be there for each kid at maybe a certain pivotal moment. Have you been in situations where one child really needed you, maybe one child is sick, another one might be sick, and they really want dad to be there? Like, how do you pick and choose those moments? Let's say if it was like an emergency, that's got to be tough.
It is very tough. That's why you have to order your steps in his word. I don't have all the answers. Mm-hmm. All I know is I can pick up the phone and I can call my kids. That's all I know.
Gotcha.
Was I perfect? I'm sure I wasn't. Were they perfect? Hell, fuck no. But we're family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can get together. We can come together, fellowship, eat, laugh, love on each other with everything that might have went right or wrong. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't map this shit out perfectly. It can't be mapped out perfectly. You got to walk this walk every day. Mm-hmm. You can try to say, okay, here's my 20-year plan and die next week. You see what I'm saying?
Now, interesting enough, there's another comedic figure who has quite a few children, but he doesn't get a lot of backlash. And I think because he is
richer than Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
See
Eddie
how
Murphy.
money shut that shit up?
That's Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Ed.
He don't get a lot of, he got 10 kids total. Mm-hmm. But I don't hear people really going at him. And he doesn't have as many, multiple, like women having his children.
How many? How many baby mamas he got? 6.
We're going to go up to 5. Sorry, y'all. Yeah. He has Paige Butcher, his current fiance, Nicole Murphy. She has a majority of children. Paulette McKinley, a woman named Tamara Hood, and Mel B. Scary Spice. Mm-hmm. So there's a total of 5.
Yeah, that's how that works.
But I don't see him getting a lot of backlash.
Right. He's handling his business.
And I believe Nick Cannon may have 6 total.
He handling his business.
Now, I mentioned Eddie. Eddie just went viral recently because he roasted Will Smith. Somewhat roasted.
Oh, right.
At the Golden Globes.
Right.
Did you agree with that? How did you react to seeing that?
It's funny. Somebody ought to roast Will Smith for doing that bullshit. Mm-hmm. That was some bullshit. He wouldn't have slapped Seinfeld. He wouldn't have got his ass up on that stage and went and hit Seinfeld.
You think it was a race related or stat?
He wouldn't have got his black ass up on that stage and put his motherfucking hand on Seinfeld. Mm. Seinfeld could have called Jada a dirty, stinking whore. He wouldn't have walked his ass up there and put his motherfucking hand on Seinfeld. And received no motherfucking award afterwards.
Right.
Now I can break the shit down now.
Go ahead.
The shit was planned. Okay? You know there's a what they call it? They do it in radio. There's a time between when you say it and when the public hears it. There's a delay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On live TV, I don't know, the delay might be 2 minutes from when it happens to when it comes through your television.
Right.
Why do they do this? Because a shit can jump off, shit can happen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's live TV. Somebody in there disgruntled, pull out a pistol and just start shooting motherfuckers in the front row. You can't let that shit go out on air.
Understood.
You see what I'm saying? So there's a delay. There's a time delay just for such type of mishaps. You can hear very clear Will Smith speaking from his seat. You can hear it very clear, as if he's mic'd. You see what I'm saying? And he swears twice. And there's a time delay for that type of shit. They let it ride twice. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. And you don't bleep it. You don't bleep it once. There's a time delay for that type of shit. And this man goes up, commits assault. You know it's security around that motherfucker up to here. You can make a wrong move if you want to. Your ass get toted out of there before you know what the fuck hit you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let him have ran up on stage at Brad Pitt. Try to put his motherfucking head on Brad Pitt. They would have went to commercial. They would have went to motherfucking commercial. Did he just slap?
So I heard Cat
Did
Williams.
he just slap Brad Pitt? Go to commercial. Motherfuckers in the production room, like, get him the fuck out of here right now. What happened? What? Will just slapped the shit out of Brad Pitt on live TV. We caught it, the time delay. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't a flow.
Now I heard Cat Williams also, he feels that it wasn't real either. He suggested that. So let's get down to it. At what point or who was the fake aspect? Was it Will Smith and his team doing it?
No.
Kristen?
The Academy Awards. The Academy Awards. That's my take on it. Because if he's mic'd at his seat, then the Academy is in on it. To me, it was a bait and switch.
Okay.
It was a bait and switch.
Okay.
They said, tonight, Will, your name gonna ring bells. Because see, the award he was up for was being a father to Venus and Serena, called King something. Mm-hmm. Right?
King Richard.
Yeah, King Richard. And he was, protecting his girls. And here he is again at the night at the Oscars protecting his girl. And you're going to slap the shit out of Chris and you're going to receive the reward and you're going to cry a glory tear and the world's going to be Will Smith. Yeah. For that night. The next day, they was on his motherfucking ass. I would have sued him for $20 million. We can't work with him. White people coming out the woodwork. Oh no, this is unacceptable. You don't put your hand on people. You know what I'm saying? He fell for it. Yeah, he was king that night. When they went on the red carpet, look it up. When they went on the red carpet after the Oscars, talking to Tiffany or whoever the fuck else, what they was singing Will's praises. Oh, he was protecting his wife. He was that night. The whole narrative switched that morning. He was a villain that morning. And Chris was victorious. His whole shit changed.
Do you think
after that
it's
slap.
Based off of what you presented, do you think it's because of how Chris reacted to it? It was not what they predicted? Or they knew?
Chris' whole demographic, I saw them change Chris's demographic after that slap. He had a show in Boston or Brooklyn or some motherfucking where after that. Okay, when they had the man on the street, this is Chris Rock now, bigger and blacker, Pootie Tang. Okay? When they went out on the street to interview people that were going to the Chris show, you know the first group of people they interviewed? A group of white women, age looked like 25 to 40. That's not Chris's demographic. We're Chris's demographic.
I would say we used to be.
Ain't no used to be not before the slap.
You think, man?
They changed it. The machine, look, the man, when you're in Hollywood at a certain level, you got a machine behind you that can make and or break you.
I can agree with it. Amplify.
Okay? You know whose demographic that is? A group of white women ages 25 to 40. You know whose demographic that is? Oprah. That's Oprah Winfrey's demographic.
Gotcha.
That's middle America. You see what I'm saying? They moved Chris from the homies to middle America.
Okay.
The machine did that. They was put out on that curb to interview these women on purpose. Yeah, they interviewed two blacks. It was two black men. It was two black men. You know, there was hundreds of black people there to see Chris. Why didn't they get some street time? Y'all ready to see Chris Rock do his thing after the big slap? A bunch of black people would have had something to say. But no, they interviewed two groups of people. a group of about 5 white women and 2 black men. They were together.
Now, as far as that conversation, was all around Eddie going at, Will recently.
Did he go at him or did he just make a joke?
He made a joke.
He made a joke.
He made a joke.
Right.
I don't know if Will wanted that
Man, fuck what Will want. Fuck, he made his decision. You get what the fuck you get. Consequences and repercussions. You made the decision. So now you're not even about what you want. Man, I don't give a fuck what you want. You wanted to go up there and hit that man in his face on live TV. So guess what we want? We want to drag your ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So under that note, people making decisions, and you seem like whatever consequence comes with it, even if it's years later.
Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish, Aries Spears.
Uh-huh.
They would do a skit
Mm-hmm.
a few years back, several years back.
Yeah.
About pedophilia.
Mm-hmm.
Aries Spears plays an uncle of sorts who's watching the child.
A weird ass skit about fucking children. You thought it was a good idea when you did it. I don't want to hear shit now.
As a comedian, though, like, I thought everything was nothing's off limits, though, right? Or
he made a decision. Do I want to do a skit about pedophilia? Fuck no. Yeah, if I want to, I can. Mm-hmm. I got enough children. I can do 100 skits about pedophilia. Mm-hmm. Am I going to do that? Fuck no. Mm-hmm. Not my thing. She chose to do that shit. And I honestly think it was just a little, hold on now. You fucking with the wrong one. Because this came right after he had shit to talk about Lizzo, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think that was just to pull another coattail. Hold on, bruh. We'll drag your ass out here.
We'll bring something else.
We got cases on all you bitches. All of you. We got tape on all you motherfuckers. Anybody step out of line, we'll make your ass trend tomorrow.
Do you think that hurt Tiffany's, like,
of
game
course.
in Hollywood?
Of course it did. Yeah. But they let it. Because they could have left her out of it. They can look, when that machine is behind you, they can control that narrative however they want to. Mm-hmm. They can leave her out of it. They can make her look like a victim, like she was duped. They can spin that shit however they want. I think, this is just my opinion, I think they were just pulling Aries' coattails, saying, hey, bruh, don't think you're exempt. We can drag your ass too. You think you being funny about Lizzo? We building Lizzo up right now. We're not tearing Lizzo down. You gotta have permission to say certain shit when you're at a certain level. You can think you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. They'll show you real quick you cannot.
Yeah. It makes me think about Kanye West. Saying a lot of stuff.
Look, man.
That's a whole interview.
Look, man. Look. Let me tell you something. That's way too deep. You think you want to go that deep. You think you want to go that deep. You think you want to go that deep. You do not. You don't. That's way out of your tax bracket. Mm-hmm. That's way, the shit that's going on with Ye. You don't want none of that. Mm. You don't want none of that.
Would you give him any advice, or you just, because he said he pretty much
run, nigga, run.
Because his whole thing was that with him,
run, Ye. It's a wrap, nigga. Run. Stay on your knees, boy. Like this. Stay on your knees. Because that's the only thing gonna save you, nigga. You in too deep. You ever seen the movie In Too Deep?
Of course, yeah.
You in too deep, nigga.
And you mean by his going after the establishment, just...
Ain't no going after the establishment. Y'all can not want to listen to Ye if you want to. Mm-hmm. Y'all can call that man, they call everybody crazy. Mm-hmm. When somebody got something to motherfucking say, whistleblowers. Ain't that what they call them? Whistleblowers and conspiracy theory. You ain't got to believe Ye when he trying to tell you what's going on, because they gonna paint the narrative. Nigga, that same machine that made you Ye will make you nay.
That part.
Okay? So he in too deep. He can tell all the truth he wants. They will make him something. Dave Chappelle said that some people might have missed when he was going through his whole little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Chappelle said that they told him, whoever they is, they told him, we'll make you a crack addict. By the time this is over, people will believe you have a crack problem. You can say whatever you want to say. But by the time we're finished with you, you'll be a crack addict. And what was we saying? Oh, Dave Chappelle done fell off. That nigga smoking crack. Well, he done went to Africa.
That was the narrative they were pushing.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not worried about you telling the truth. Why? Because you're in too deep. They control what's going on with you. Look, man, you're not sitting next to Trump, Barack, shit, Jay-Z for that matter. There's some people you are not finna be rubbing elbows with if they can't control you. You're not gonna make it. You're talking about the glass ceiling. How they used to say, oh, there's a glass ceiling. You can only go so high. No, you can get past it. Mm-hmm. If you're willing to give up some shit, that motherfucker retract. That glass ceiling, it retract. And you can reach heights as high as you motherfucking wanna go. Up to being a billionaire on the Forbes list. Your little black ass can, from Chi-Town, you could be a billionaire on the Forbes list. If you're willing to give up some things, to whom much is given, much is required. That's why you're in too deep, nigga. You're submerged. You ain't wading knee high through this shit. I'm 10 toes down. That man ain't 10 toes down. The water is past his nostrils. He in too deep. He can tell all the truth he want. They gonna spin that shit however they feel like it. They got a tape on him too. They can turn him into a pedophile. Mm-hmm. Any one of these motherfuckers can go to prison. Mm-hmm. Why? Because they control it. Once Caesar gave you so much, man, I just finna give you all this shit and you think you can just walk away and say what the fuck you want to say? You can't.
You think some of this has to do with...
You can't do that at a regular job.
With race involved, because we assume that's like the white establishment.
You're right. Mm-hmm.
And being a black person in their space, you're gonna have to abide by their rules.
That's anybody that's paying you. Anybody that's paying you, you're gonna have to abide by their rules. That go all the way back to living at home with your parents. If you stand under their roof, you gotta abide by their rules. Ain't nothing changed. Everybody got to answer to somebody. Everybody. Whoever's paying the cost, the boss, make the rules. Okay, yay, you at a whole B now. You a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? I need you to cut that light off when you come inside, and I don't want no dishes in this sink. You at a B now. Yeah. And that's what I require of you. I gave you the B.
Right.
And you need to cut that damn light off, and I don't want no dishes in this sink.
So my question would be, is he wrong for playing that game, or should he have stayed?
Is he wrong?
Or should he have tried to been in a place of independence where he can maybe not reach the billion, but maybe have more control?
Ain't no independent billionaires.
Because what I'm seeing is because with Ye, he looked like he was taking shots at the establishment. I'm just gonna put some color to this.
Okay.
He was mad at certain, white establishments. To be specific, he was talking about the Jewish media, and that establishment, and they control good portions of different businesses.
All of it.
That people need to be able to get to that $1 billion status.
Exactly.
Now, my question would be, was he again wrong for playing that game and just not staying home and getting money with us, with our own people?
How can you say he's wrong for following his dreams? Somebody pulled him to the side and say, hey, you can go further. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody pulled him to the side and say, hey, would you like this? Would you like that? You can obtain that. I can help you get there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
He a grown ass man. He's like, what? I could have a billion. I could be a billionaire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could work with so and so, and I could put out a shoe, and it could be as big as Jordan. Yeah. All of that. Whatever you want. You're bright. You're cutting edge. We can help you do it.
Is that what they do to gas us up?
Man, Satan took Jesus to the highest mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and said, all this I will give to you if you would just worship me. Satan took the Messiah to the top and showed him everything. Huh? At this point, you make your choice. So after he won his little Grammy or whatever, had on his shades or whatever, and somebody said, hey, you want to go further than this? Then you make your choice. You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of choices and people having dreams, Deion Sanders, you know, this is one that I went on our own platform and spoke on.
Okay.
Now, Deion, for context, was coaching at a HBCU school,
Right.
Jackson State. He came into that coaching position kind of more playing into the people's feelings of black people and overcoming, and we can do this collectively.
Right.
You know, stroking our emotions about being black. And
stroking our emotions. You're saying Deion was stroking our emotions.
Correct.
That's how you feel.
Going into it, I feel he played with people's emotions.
You think he was playing with folks' emotions?
Well,
coaching them boys to championships?
I'm talking about I'm talking about his rhetoric. Let me lay it up.
Okay.
So he was saying the good stuff. Man, you know, HBCUs, they're like, you know, underserved. We all know they're not getting the same amount of resources as like the bigger white institutions.
Right.
So he would win these championships, which I thought was really dope. But then he ultimately, someone came, said, I can show you more, as you just said with Kanye.
Right.
And he ultimately left
the
mission that it does seem like he was trying to push forward on, which was, I'm going to help try to change things here. Now, do you think Deion, and we could talk about this, do you think Deion was wrong for leaving Jackson State for a predominantly white institution?
Okay. Do you think LeBron was wrong for leaving Cleveland?
I would say it would be the same.
It's exactly the same.
Because Jackson State.
It's exactly the same.
Jackson State was a winning team.
Okay.
So he went to as I stated this on our platform, he went to a losing white team. They just have more resources.
Right.
So
yeah, they're winning in a whole nother way. Yeah. You got the trophy, but
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, that's all you got is a trophy. He want them Bucks to match these championships.
Right. And he did go on to say,
look, it's the same thing. LeBron was with a team. He brought them as far as he could bring them. But the man want a ring. You know?
I just think
the man want a ring. Do he deserve a ring? If he one of the greatest basketball players to ever hit the court since Jordan, and all he want is a ring, is he wrong for when they say, "Hey, you're great"?
I think in conclusion, it just seems like it's a perspective.
Because you're LeBron, you deserve a ring. I don't think you're gonna be able to get it where you are. But if you come over here, I see championship in your future. He's been balling since a little boy. And then here come the man telling, the ring is through that door. You're a hero right here. You're good. You straight. The folk love you.
Right.
But if what you really want is a picture kissing that trophy, you got to go that way. That's where the rings are. Mm-hmm. So is he wrong for going where the rings at?
It's perspective.
Exactly. It's what you want.
It's what do
you want?
Like we just said now, right? Where you said he went from one winning situation to another winning situation in a different way. That's
in a different way. Right.
My thought process was that was winning because he was doing something in the community. He was helping change things, and he was working with ourselves. Like, I love doing business with us. So that, and
Right.
my mentality is, this is a win.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a win, but we don't know all the ins and outs.
And that's true.
We don't know all the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. Sometimes once you've been given certain things, you're made to go certain places.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, we'll give you this over here, but after this quarter, we need you over here now. To whom much is given, much is required. You got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? It'll come out of nowhere. Hey, we've been backing you. Let's say, who made his wheelchair when he had to have his half his foot removed and shit? He got a wheelchair made by Chevrolet or some shit, I think.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Those type of things, people will pick up the phone and call in favors, man. You know what I'm saying? You could get a phone call out of nowhere. Somebody that's been supporting you from day one. And they'll say, hey,
yeah,
we need you to meet with the officer at the pub.
Mm-hmm.
There's a 9mm in the bathroom taped to the sink. We need you to excuse yourself, go get the pistol, come back out, fire, kill the sergeant, police sergeant.
Okay.
Why would I do that? Because you're where you are, because I helped you. You know what I'm saying? That's a scene from The Godfather.
You more so, yeah. So you more so saying we don't know.
We don't know
who was fully backing him.
We don't know. Somebody might have called in a favor. Somebody might have said, "Hey, we're gonna back you at the HBCU up to this point. Once we get you to this point, we need you over here." That's hypothetical. It could have went down that way, or they could have said, "Hey, the 20 mil in the bank is over here."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You might be at a solid hovering around $1 million in the bank at the HBCU. A lot of shit is comped. You know what I'm saying? You got sponsors and shit. He not really coming out of pocket, but shit, it looked way nicer than it really is. You know what I'm saying? You're hovering around, 800,000, a milli in the bank. You're kind of hovering. You ain't hurting, but you're hovering.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, hey, the 20 mil flat is over here.
Now,
we keep you hovering around 20, 25 mil over here.
From a journalistic point of view, I do want to put like some facts there. Mm-hmm. Is that before pretty much onboarding or after onboarding him, the athletic director at Colorado would admit that they didn't have the full money secured yet. So
now they ain't telling you how much it is yet.
Saying he didn't have the money, but they knew they were going to get it. I just thought it was interesting.
Look, once again, the narrative will be controlled how they see fit. They'll let you know as you need to know, as they feel like they want you to know. You know what I'm saying? You got all these journalists. Well, how much is he getting? How much is he getting? Well, we don't know that just yet. We don't have all the money yet. What the fuck ever? What, you think he went over there not knowing?
It's just the fact of like how it looks, right? It's like, okay, I'm with my black folks, I'm doing my thing. And you're in entertainment.
Yeah.
And you know how they'll come and pluck you out of that and say, hey, look at this over here.
Yeah.
It just feels disheartening that we can't at least say we can keep doing business and growing together.
We can. And you have to be content with that which you have. Mm-hmm. You have to be empty and full. You understand? Mm-hmm. People want the whole thing. The whole thing ain't always healthy. You got to be hungry and full. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you an example. Rocky was unfuckwittable when he had the eye of the tiger, when he had that hunger. You know what I'm saying? He was champion. So he reached a certain height, but he was still in the trenches. He was still hungry, mm-hmm. And you couldn't fuck with him on that. When he moved out into that big ass house, driving that Ferrari, got a goddamn statue in the town square, he got his motherfucking ass whooped.
He was full though.
He was full. He wasn't full and hungry. See what I'm saying? When he was full and hungry, champion and humble, couldn't fuck with it. But once he got it all, once he was filled to the rim, got his ass whooped.
So would your stance on that, because that's beautiful, would that be more so of like a warning or like to Deion, like, hey, stay humble, stay hungry, because they going to keep guiding them?
Hey, I don't know if I call it a warning. I don't know if I would call it a warning. I would just say it's something to think about. You might not want to be full. Because where do you go after full?
Right. You got to come down.
Where do you go after full?
In recent headlines, we had Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion. This would cause all kind of conversations. It would stir up conversations about black men and black women, that relationship, particularly black women not feeling that they're believed when they come out with certain things, and black men feeling that certain things depend on us because of he say, she say. What was your reaction and just perspective when you seen this debate happening, and were you surprised that Tory would end up being found guilty?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised.
Were you the ones kind of saying earlier that you thought he was innocent at first?
It's so convoluted. But a lot of shit didn't match up. You said, first of all, you saying you got shot in both your feet, bitch, and you twerking next week, that don't match. You know what I'm saying? That don't match up. The man didn't have any gunpowder on his hands, but the other bitch involved did. That don't match up. So, once again, you can be in so deep that these folks control your narrative. You know what I'm saying? These folks control your, we control the outcome. We say you shot her. I ain't got no residue, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You can get so deep that the shit can go like that. You know what I'm saying? You can be in a position, man, where the whole shit is controlled by somebody else.
Right.
You know, you can say, hey, I want all of this. And they say, yeah, well, you know that all of this come with all of that. I don't care. I want it. I want it. I want to pull up on these hoes, nigga. I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to jump out the newest whatever and with the biggest whatever, and I can do and throw whatever. They're like, oh, okay, well, now we can facilitate that, but understand, if we said you killed her, that is what it is.
So it's interesting. When we were this is an interesting
that's real talk.
segue, because when we were preparing for this interview, we lightly touched on the Alabama basketball player.
Right.
And how that narrative.
Right. They want to say, and I appreciate you reading the whole little story, because I had just found out when you read it, that he wasn't even the gunman, that he gave Buddy the gun. And he probably wasn't even around when dude fired the gun. At least that's not how it read.
Okay.
They said the dude, somebody in the car returned fire, and the suspect was hit. They didn't mention the boy no more. They didn't mention the Alabama player no more after he gave Knucklehead the gun. And he probably gave him that gun. Well, who's to say he gave it to him that day? So again, that's poor decision making.
And he got charged with capital murder.
You're an accessory. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? If you and me are walking down the street, we just kicking it. Yeah, Doodoo loved the interview. And I'm like, yeah, man, we got to do it again. And then I pull a firearm and unload on some passerby. If you don't pick up your phone and say, this nigga just killed somebody, you're an accomplice. Yeah, everybody going to jail.
And that's crazy too, because I'm even looking at this Fox News report.
Mm-hmm.
This is the headline.
Uh-oh.
Ex-Alabama basketball player Darius Miles allegedly killed woman because she wouldn't talk to him, mom says.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
And that's
Because
a headline for
first of all, the boy made it to college. He's part of an Alabama sports program. There's not playing. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on your P's and Q's to play any type of sports for Alabama. You ain't just some knucklehead running around with a gun if you done made it to Alabama U. And you on the sports team, you're not worried about now bitch don't want to talk to you. So that headline, that's some bullshit. That boy is not shooting at bitches that don't want to holler at him. He played ball for Alabama. Mm-hmm. It's more than enough pussy. Any athlete, you know what I'm saying, gonna have his share of broads. You know what I'm saying? He is not that downtrodden that he wants to murder a woman for not wanting to talk to him. That's a lie. They should change that headline to Alabama boy makes a fucked up decision and gives a knucklehead a gun. Cause it's the other motherfucker that shot into that car. We don't even know if he was aiming at the girl because the other motherfucker shot back. So there must have been some type of back and forth, you know what I'm saying, with the shooter and the motherfucker that returned fire.
And they didn't have a previous relationship, so they didn't. That would seem to be their first time.
That's what I'm saying. They don't escalate. Nobody playing ball for Alabama is finna shoot at some woman because she didn't want to say hey. She didn't want to give up the digits. That's absurd to even think that boy would be of that mindset. Stop saying that shit.
Yeah, New York Post also posted that as well.
Yeah, that's wrong for them to paint him as such. That's wrong. It's wrong for journalists, Charlemagne, to make him donkey of the day for talking about he need to get his feelings in check. That ain't got shit to do with his feelings. He gave another motherfucker a gun who did the shooting. And we don't even know if that boy was outside when the shooting took place. The story don't say that he was even outside.
Do you think it was just based off what we know, right? On the story that we wrote? Wow. Allegedly, he gave his friend a gun. Mm-hmm. With that gun, he would go on to shoot at this vehicle. Mm-hmm. And the young lady lost her life.
Yeah.
Do you think he should be charged with this capital murder?
Man, look, you would hope that his future wouldn't be derailed in such a manner, but we have to think about the things that we do. We have to, I tell my son this, you're one decision away from fucking it all up. Make wise decisions. When the dude came and asked you for the gun, you know what I'm saying? You should have said no. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's if that's even true. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't know if he gave him the gun. That's what's being reported. Because he damn sure didn't kill the girl. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't the shooter. So why you got him in the headlines?
So the headline is, or the story is, Darius Miles, who has since been dismissed from the Alabama basketball team,
right,
admitted to giving the weapon to Michael Davis, the alleged shooter.
Okay.
Immediately prior to the shooting, according to a deposition filed by a Tuscaloosa investigator.
Okay, so he admitted to giving him the gun. That's where you fucked up, Darius. That's where you fucked up, bruh. And you gotta face the consequences. You give a gun to this knucklehead, he's a knucklehead. Shooting in this car because he done had words back and forth with whoever, the other brother that was in the car. He's shooting in the car because, you know, don't nobody want to back down. And that's where you fucked up. That's where you involved yourself in such a manner that you throw your whole life away, man. Yeah. That's where you involve yourself. When you gave that brother that gun, that's where you fucked up.
How you feel now about things, you being from an era that I assume it was more about fighting, put your deuce up, square it up. How you feel about brothers just so easily just, hey man, let me just air it out?
That's how they are being programmed. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're being programmed. When we came up, it was hip hop, the hippie to the hip hop, you don't stop the rocket.
Mm-hmm.
When they came up, it's walk down on them, walk down on them. You know what I'm saying? The
Right.
programming is different.
Right.
That's on purpose.
Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. From Martin Luther King birthday to the whole month of Black History Month, there's going to be, and I'm gonna use their term, uptick. There's going to be an uptick in niggas doing dumb shit. Look it up. It's always like that. From Martin Luther King birthday to the whole month of Black History Month, they're gonna offset your accomplishments with stories of niggas doing dumb shit. Look it up if you want. Last year it was Gorilla Glue Girl. Yeah, that was the big story. Bitch with Gorilla Glue in her hair. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, always around Martin Luther King birthday and like I said, the whole month of February, you're gonna see an uptick in stories about niggas doing stupid shit. It's like they gotta offset the accomplishment. You can't just be great all month. We can't just talk about how much you've given to society all month, how you helped build this country and all your inventions. We can't just give you that all month. We got to give you that and Gorilla Glue Girl. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And guy throws his future away because a girl won't talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the bullshit.
And in closing, I still remember this story. I probably will never forget it. 52 you are now?
52 now.
52.
Yes, mm-hmm.
So I'm sure a lot of things you did in your past was, you look back and be like, woof, why did I? And so you told us this wild story of Aunt Esther.
And I got drugged for that, saying fellatio instead of cunnilingus. I said I wanted to give Aunt Esther fellatio, and somebody got in the comments and say, "Nah, that's sucking dick." Fellatio. I was like, huh? I thought fellatio was just head.
Everybody.
Either way, you know what I'm saying? And you fucked up, John, for not correcting me. I said fellatio about 4 times. This nigga ain't said shit. That nigga never once said, doodle, I think fellatio.
Because I think I understood what you were saying. What you were saying.
Yeah, but hey, in my defense though, even after learning that there's a difference between fellatio and cunnilingus, it is my opinion that fellatio sounds more feminine than cunnilingus. Who is queen? Queen cunnilingus or Queen fellatio?
Okay. I bring this up because one, that was just a moment in time that was like, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying this. Just telling us a story. And for those that missed it, it's still on YouTube. You guys can Google Doo Brown on Esther, it'll pop up. Mm-hmm. But recently, veteran rapper Keith Murray went viral because he was talking about going down on rapper Shauna.
Shauna's another one that got away. One day we was at the House of Blues. Shauna was on the wall, and she was on the wall, and I had her like this. I was like,
The most beautifulest thing in this world, and just like that, you're a crackhead. Yeah,
this is Doo Brown. It's been a pleasure.
Crackhead.
A very entertaining, great conversation as always. Expected. do you have anything just for people that are watching? How can we support you and just look forward to?
Just go to thetruedoodoo.com, TheTrueDoodoo.com. You can follow me from anywhere I am from my website. Just keep fucking with your boy, man. I am comedy's undisputed underground king, Doodle motherfucking Brown. 30 years down, and I love you all. I hope I hope these interviews are uplifting and edifying to whomever may watch. Yeah, fuck with your boy, man.